What's up, guys? Happy Father's Day. I got 3 WNBA player props on Underdog Fantasy to make some big profits. I'm turning $100 into 600 with a little 3-pick entry on Underdog. So let's just go ahead. Let's get into it. My first play right here is Alyssa Thomas over 14.5 points. So again, as a sharp bettor, we're always hunting through the market, looking for inefficiencies, looking for an edge. So if you take a look at Alyssa Thomas, not a ton of sports books have player prop lines on the WNBA, but Underdog, Prize Picks, and a couple others do. Is you're going to see for Alyssa Thomas, Underdog Fantasy has her line at 14.5. Every other sports book, Prize Picks, Parlay Play, right? The 2 other data points we have in the market, they have our line higher at 15.5. So Underdog Fantasy is too low. We want to take the over. That's the first bet that I went with on Underdog for today. So my first play on Alyssa Thomas was found on the Sportsbook Screen of OddsJam. And I really like this tool because, so much of the sports betting industry is BS. And all this tool shows you, all the Sportsbook Screen shows you is where sportsbooks are setting their lines. So you can kind of hunt through the market and look for value. So a perfect example is if you look at Jordan, Canada, on Parlay Play, another platform kind of similar to Underdog, they have her line at 20.5 points plus assists. If I zoom in a bit, Underdog, Prize Picks, right? Her line's higher. Betano has her line at 22.5. So clearly Parlay Play is too low here. We'd want to take the over. So I love looking through the Sportsbook Screen. I typically just pull up different markets and just try to find line discrepancies, find value. My second play is also from the screen, and it's also in the same WNBA game. I'm on Natisha Heidemann under 8.5 points. Okay, so if you look at Prize Picks, they have her line lower at 8. And then look at Betano, which is a sports book. They have her line even lower at 7.5 with the under juiced, right? The under is the favorite outcome. So Underdog Fantasy, their line is too high once again, or not once again, the last time we took the over, but their line is too high, so we want to take the under. So before we get into the final pick, Underdog Fantasy is a really interesting platform because it's a fixed payout platform. Any 3-leg parlay you create, any 3 player props you pair together, you're getting a 6x payout, right? You're betting 100 to win 600. It doesn't matter if you switch this to, let's say, Mahomes over under 37.5 passing TDs, you're always getting a 6x payout on a 3-leg parlay. So long story short, if you go through the math behind Underdog Fantasy, what you're going to see is to be profitable on Underdog, you have to win 55% of your bets. Right? So in other words, player prop bets like Mahomes over under 37.5 passing TDs, you have to win these bets above 55% of the time to be profitable on Underdog, right? So if you can win, let's say 60% of your picks, if you can win these prop bets like Mahomes over under 37.5, 60% of the time only losing 40% of your plays, you're going to be profitable, right? Your ROI on Underdog is going to be 30%. On the other hand, if you can only win 52%, winning 48%, right? So you have a small advantage. You're winning more often than you're losing. You're winning 52% of your bets, but you're still going to get crushed. You're going to get killed on Underdog Fantasy. Your ROI is going to be negative 16%. You got to be able to hit 55% of your bets. So basically, one of the tools I use is the OddsJam Fantasy Optimizer, right? I love this tool for finding bets on Underdog Fantasy. And essentially what it does is it uses sportsbook odds, right? Everything on OddsJam is based in data. There's no BS. Just to show you prop bets that are winning above 55% of the time. And they're just highlighted in green, right? So Underdog Fantasy, this plays in green. This is the profitable bet that the Fantasy Optimizer is identifying. It's Kelsey Plum under 4.5 assists. All these plays in red are not good. Don't bet them, right? Only play the picks in green. So basically, what you're going to notice is all of the sports books, right, like FanDuel, they all have Kelsey Plum's under heavily favored, right? Around minus 140 odds. All the sports books are telling you, hey, Kelsey Plum, her under is the favorite outcome. She's a lot more likely to go under as opposed to over. So her under is 55.36% to win. So that's the final prop bet that I included in my little entry. right? 3-pick parlay on Underdog Fantasy. You can see my 3 plays right here. I'm always showing you guys in these videos just what I'm putting my own money on, and hopefully this was helpful. So, any questions you have, I'll put my email in the description. Don't hesitate to reach out.